Chase success with global.media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne.
All right. We are live, I think, right? Yes, we are on the air. This is exciting. It's the end of April. You know what that means. We're here for another Positivity live call here. It's the end of the month, and always at the end of the month, we do our gratitude experience where we talk about the things we are grateful for in the month, how things are going in the year, what we want to celebrate. And that's really what this call's about. And I'm excited to be back hosting. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks and kind of been traveling and doing some other things, but I'm glad to be back with all of you. We've got all my hosts here in the house. If you're in here and you're on this call right now, please shout out. Let us know where you're from. Shout it out. Say hi. I want to pull up some comments here and see who's leaving some comments on our call today and give some shout outs to some people. And the only way I can see who's on here is if you're commenting and being a part of the conversation here. So pretty much here's how it's going to go today. There we go. We got our first comment here. We got Pratyaksha is here. She said amazing with 3 G's. That means it's super amazing. So I like to see that. We got Lydia saying hello with 1 L and hello with 2 L's. I like that. She says she's grateful for you. Yes, we are grateful for everybody to be here. I look forward to this call every month because, obviously throughout the month, we talk about certain topics related to positivity, right? And we share different things, but this is the one where we really can bring it all together every month and talk about the things we're grateful for. And Adrian is back in the house here saying hello from New Jersey. Happy Friday. Good to see you again, Adrian. Peter is here from Dallas, Texas, down south. Hopefully it's warm weather down by you, Peter. It's a little rainy here, but it's getting warmer. Good to see you in here. And everyone, yes, it's good to see everyone already leaving some comments here. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself, and I'm going to introduce my hosts as well because this wouldn't be possible without them also. Lydia is going to go ahead and kick us off with a meditation session then following suit. And then we're going to go back around the room and share our thoughts for April and things we're grateful for. And then we're going to bring up people on stage so they can share their thoughts on today's topic. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, make sure you get in. Raise your hand, get up on stage. We want to bring you up on stage and let you share your thoughts as well and make this a very interactive and positive session. So I'm Jamie Edwards. For those of you who don't know me, I am a career coach. I'm one of the top career coaches on LinkedIn, and I have my own career coaching business called Jam Sessions with Jamie. And I'm residing right outside of Chicago, Illinois. So we're kind of right in the middle of the United States, or close to the middle of the United States, right? In the Midwest. And what I do, as I mentioned, is I'm a career coach, and I've been doing this now for 3 years on my own. And I help people with everything related to their job search. So I help people with writing resumes. I help people with interview practice and making sure that they know how to answer certain questions by using certain strategies. I help people with their LinkedIn profiles and make their profiles stand out so more recruiters can find them easier and they can become more visible on LinkedIn, right? It's all about posting content and making your voice heard. So I help with all 3 of those different things. I've been doing this now for about 3 years on my own. And, I've worked with close to 600 different job seekers over the course of 3 years. It's a lot of different people. So, I've got a lot of experience doing this. I used to recruit people before I started doing this on my own. So I've seen thousands of resumes. I've interviewed hundreds of people. And now I get to do it on my own, which is a lot of fun. And it's a passion of mine, getting people hired and helping people find jobs, because that's really what, that's really a big deal of what LinkedIn's about, right? A lot of people looking for opportunities, and I try to be a part of that and help people find jobs. So if anybody out there is looking for somebody to help them with their job search, or maybe you just want somebody to look at your resume, please don't hesitate. Reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you out and at least have a call with you and talk a little bit more about what I do and learn a little bit more about you and your job search as well. So that's a little bit about me. As I mentioned, I'm hosting today, so I'm not doing this on my own. So I'm going to pass it over to the next person. Let's see. I'm figuring out who I want to go to. Let's go to Zion up in the corner here. So Zion, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll pass it over to Annie, and we'll let Lydia take over.
All right. Amazing. Thank you so much, King Jamie, for kicking off and getting the ball rolling for us on today. Yes, it's another Friday again where we are very intentional about spreading positivity. Want to say a big thank you to everyone who is joining us today on this edition. Today happens to be the last Friday of the month, and you know how we do it is always our gratitude call. So, for those who don't know me, or maybe you are seeing me for the very first time, my name is Zion Inogeru, your Mr. Positive Energy, a man always on a mission to spread positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time. And I'm joining in all the way from Nigeria. We live in a world where there's so much negativity flying around, and by so doing, people can be so overwhelmed, people can be carried away, and it can put people in a place of seeing themselves as if they're not good enough or see themselves like giving up when it comes to life issue. So that's what we do. We help people to go through that with our positivity message. We help people go through that through our positivity coaching and mentoring, helping people to embrace the power of positivity, even in the midst of a negative situation that we are being surrounded with. So, if there's anyone out there, you want to embrace the power of positivity, you want to intentionally live a life of positivity, you can do it to reach out to me. Let's go on that journey together. One thing I will tell you is in positivity, there's always endless possibilities for you. So whatever you do, having positivity as a foundation, I tell you, you are destined for greatness, you are destined for so much possibilities that await you. So that's that about me. So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, drop a comment in the section so we can be able to highlight you and get you to be on this global platform. Because on this space, we have thousands of people who are joining us live and who are going to be watching the replay later on. So do well, free, join us, participate. And if you want to come up on stage, the link is already in the comment section. We're going to be dropping it again and again. So come up on stage and share with us your gratitude. It's very simple. What are the 3 things you are grateful for the month of April? Come and encourage us because we know that your story is unique and it has the power to encourage somebody that hears it. So why not come on stage and share with us so we can inspire the world together with the power of positivity. So thank you so much for listening. I think I'll pass now the mic to Annie so he can introduce himself.
Happy Friday, everyone. So welcome, Blessing. I see you. Hello, everyone. Blessing. And we see you as well, Esther. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a happy Friday, right? It's always a great moment where we get to say thank you to the universe, to our gods for the good things that happen to us. I guess I'm blessed. I live what I do. Of course, as many of us do, right? That's the best place to be. I say all that because the simple way to tell you what I do is because, as this is saying, the last 3 days, and probably for the next 2 more days, I'm living my dream. I'm publishing books. As I published a book yesterday, published a book today, and I publish a book tonight, publish another book tomorrow. It's all part of my journey to get to 1,000 books a year, 10,000 books published for everyone. And that's what gives me joy. My friends, if you want help to write your book, I've got a team that will help you. I don't do that part myself. If you want your book that you've written to be packaged and published, on Amazon especially, I can help you with that. There's other book platforms we'll publish on as well. If you've written a book and published a book, it's not selling, let's talk. We have strategies to get your book in front of more people. Part of what I call making you famous, right? That's essentially involves making you and your book a bestseller on Amazon. That way, more people see your book, they want to buy your book. More people, they tells people that you got a good book. And I guess I feel blessed because that bestseller thing is something. It looks like a unique gift that I have. Yeah, a unique gift. It's tools that I have and experience of doing it, my friends. So my last author that I did bestseller for, it was Coach David a couple of weeks ago. So he got 14 bestsellers. So, when I say I guarantee a bestseller, I mean guarantee. If you don't get it first time, I'll pay myself to make it happen. That's what guaranteed means, right? So I get to live my dream all day, every day. So I'm so happy with life. Of course, I got a wonderful family here. So let's hear from our beloved Lydia. I don't say beloved for nothing. She is Lydia, the truly special one amongst us. Lydia, I'll give you the mic.
Thank you, Annie. I'm so grateful for this group of people that is every single one of us is special. We all have this thing in us that's uniquely us. And if you doubt it, join us on stage and we will tell you how grateful we are for you. We would love to have you up here. And Annie, that's nonsense, and you know it. I am no more special than you are, my friend. We all have that special spark, and that's why we're here. So I'm Lydia, and I help bring you to Jedi Calm, because calm is what helps us find our purpose. Calm is what brings us to clarity. Calm is what helps us to heal and to grow and to connect and to communicate. So I help bring us to Jedi Calm. I have a lot of modes of that for healing or for focus or for different things and courses on my website. But wherever you are and whatever you do, I'm always here on Fridays just to infuse a little bit of calm into the world for the weekend, and on Mondays in order to infuse some grounding, some love, and some calm for the week. So right now, if you are ready, we're going to get ourselves nice and chill and full of gratitude right now. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Only do this if you're in a good space to close your eyes. Don't do this while driving a car or operating heavy machinery. As you breathe in, allow the breath to close your eyes. And breathe in the fresh coolness. And as you do, notice the bright, golden, cool yet warm, soft and insistent energy coming right through the top of your head, right where the hairs grow. And feel it flow down, down, over your temples, your jaw, your neck, your throat opening and expanding. Feel the peace flow down the back of your neck, your spine, your shoulders, your elbows, your hands and your fingers, and down, opening, expanding your heart and your lungs, softening with the golden energy of peace. Feel the peace flowing down into your abdomen, softening, expanding. Everything relaxing. As you breathe in peace. You notice right at the bottom of your pelvis. An energy that's always been there, like a root attaching you to the earth. No matter how far up in the air you are, whether you're on the 40th floor or you're right on the ground, or you're in a car, that root goes between you and the earth because you belong here. As you breathe in, feel the energy, calm and insistent, supportive, always supportive, coming through that root. Swirling around your peaceful body, grounding, that's right, giving you the support to fly. Calm, supportive, and insistent. There's so much to be grateful for. As you breathe in, breathe in peace. And feel the peace and the support flow down your legs all the way to your toes, down your arms all the way to the tips of your fingers, over your shoulders and every part of you. You can come here anytime by taking a deep breath, or perhaps touching the earth, or holding a rock, or stepping out in the sunshine with your bare feet. I'm going to count to 5. When I reach 5, you will open your eyes, feeling alert, refreshed, and full of peace and gratitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Eyes open, alert, refreshed, full of peace, and ready to share your gratitude. Come on up and join us.
Outstanding. Wow, that was amazing. It's been couple weeks for myself since I've heard one of those great meditation sessions. I know I've missed them, and I know that you do your weekly thing every week, Lydia, and you have all your things going on with what you do from a healing and calming perspective. So make sure you this is not a plug for Lydia by any means, but it kind of is, right? Because you do this, and we don't just do it on this call. So make sure you guys are connected to Lydia and join some of her other things and see what she's she offers a lot of different things in terms of what she does, and you can learn more from her when it comes to this positivity stuff she does and the meditation and the calming she does. And I love that. So thank you again, Lydia. We appreciate that. Let's see it. Well, I think Any kept his eyes closed because he's got still on mute there and his video's off. So you put him in a calming, really calming state. Okay, there he is. Hey, all right, Eggplant Any. Okay, so wow, I'm full of I've got a lot of energy today. So let's start and talk about the gratitude and the grateful things we are grateful for in the month of April. I'm gonna kind of start talking about some different things that are going on in my life, what I'm grateful for. I'll pass it over to Zion and Any, and then Lydia can talk about it. And then I'll bring up the first couple people on stage. So if you're wanting to share some stuff that you're grateful for, please come on up. I know I want to shout out a few more people here really quick. I think Anthony is here. I see that Anthony said, I'm so grateful for all of us here. Well, we're grateful for you being here. Thank you for joining our call. Paulette is in the house. She said hello to everyone. So good to see you again, Paulette. Glad to have you here as well. Kifa is in the house here from the United Kingdom, all the way from the UK. What's going on, my friend? Thanks for being here also. We got Maria. Hello, people. Hello to you too. And then Adrian is very thankful for the meditation session that Lydia gave, which thank you for shouting that out, Adrian. It was a great session for sure. So let's talk about, just things I'm grateful for in April. And, spring is here, right? And unless you live in a completely warm place year round and whatnot, I mean, first thing I'm grateful for right now is that the weather is getting warmer out here. The flowers are starting to bloom. The bushes are starting to get their leaves, and everything is feeling full of life, right? And I say full of life because that's really what I'm grateful. One of the main things I'm grateful for is being full of life, right? And I always say this on every one of our gratitude sessions, but I'm thankful for every day I can wake up and open my eyes and thank God for allowing me to be on this earth one more day, and for putting my feet on the ground, 2 feet on the ground, and being able to forget about the day before. If I had a rough day the day before, I know I can do it again, and I have another day to make a positive impact and just make an impact in life, right? So that's, I talk about this because I'm looking outside right now because I have the window right in front of me here, and I just see all this life outside, and I see ducks in the water, and I see, birds flying around and flowers, and I just feel like we're turning the bad weather is turning around. We're getting good weather here, and that makes me happy. So I'm grateful for those things. I'm also grateful for continuing to have my career coaching business and to continue week after week to work with people and help people get into jobs. Just recently, a couple weeks ago, one of my clients just recently got a job as a professor at a school, right? And she was struggling with her job search, and I helped her with her resume and her interview practice. And she ended up getting more interviews, and she ended up just landing an opportunity with a pretty good sized university. And I'm blessed to be able to do this, right? I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm passionate about getting people hired, and just grateful to say that I've worked with so many people over these last 3 years. Actually, upcoming 3 years, I believe, coming up, and just to be able to do this every day is something I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my family and my daughter, my girlfriend, and my all my friends in my life, and all my friends on the call that I do this with every week, right? Zion, Any, Lydia, Isa, and just grateful for them to be a part of this call every week, and to continue to do this and share that positivity. I love this. I'm grateful for all of you who join our call week after week. And we got another shout out here from James, who said, happy Friday, grateful for the gift of life and each and every one of you on this show. And we're grateful for you, James. Let me know, James, where you're coming from too, so we can hear where you're from also. Maria says, with all this beauty and life around, some folks just don't get it. You're right. It's I understand being, we can sometimes be in a negative mood, and it's okay to be upset about things, right? But when you just think about the bigger picture and everything around you, you just feel like there's people always that can sometimes have it worse than you, right? You got to take in for everything that life has to offer and embrace everything that you have, right? And I do every day. I really do. I track things. I write things down. I embrace it. So Lydia's shouting out everybody on the call. I love that. Telling everyone to come on up and share your thoughts. But those are just some of the things that I'm grateful for. My daughter's turning 5 in June, Olivia. It's crazy to think she's grown so much, right? I see her blossoming before my eyes, and I just see her growing. You know, the fact that I go upstairs now to say goodnight to her, and she's laying in her big girl bed, and she's got her iPad in front of her, and I'm like, oh, we're getting to this stage now. She's too cool, like 5-year-old, right? It's just crazy to see her growing and how much she's adapting to everyone around her and coaching her soccer practice. And yeah, just a lot of great things going on. So Abagna says, hello, grateful. Greetings to you, Zion, Annie, and everyone watching you from Ghana. Bongo, Ghana. Welcome from Ghana. Positivity is a necessity. He's grateful for starting the second semester of the academic year with good health. Congrats on that, Abagna. We're glad you're here, and congrats on starting your new semester at school. Hopefully it's a great semester for you. So that's all about me. I want to make sure I give time to everyone else to speak so we can bring some people up. So I'm going to pass it over to Zion so he can go ahead and share what he's grateful for in the month of April. So go ahead, my friend.
Yes, thank you so much, King Jimmy, for kicking us off and sharing with us your gratitude. Indeed, there was so much nugget you shared there that we just have to recognize in our lives, especially when it comes to the gift of nature, the gift of family. Sometimes it's so underrated. People take these things for granted. And for me, I think one thing I'm grateful for, currently it's raining where I am. It used to be very hot, from January till now, and we are gradually going into the rainy season. And then the weather is getting cooler, by the day. And to be honest, to experience the heat from January till now is not easy. But then just being grateful for the rain. I know we take it for granted sometimes, but it's just amazing. I remember I was praying for the rain. Oh, let rain come, let it start raining. But here we are having rain free of charge, just to make the weather cool. It's just amazing. So that's one of my gratitude today. And also, I'm also grateful for, within the months, for my sister's wedding, which went well, which was great. I know it was busy, but then planning wedding, putting all the logistics together, but then seeing that it was a huge success was just amazing. And I'm also grateful for her. But sometimes we can be so busy with visions, with goals, with the business, making money, and then we forget to take care of ourselves. So being intentional about self-care is something that's really been a game changer for me. Looking after myself, taking good care of myself, it's just amazing. So I'm just grateful for health. Because it takes someone who is healthy to think about goals, to think about business, to think about, all these things that we're thinking about. It takes someone who is healthy, and just to be healthy and to be strong and to be here today, it's something I'm grateful for, especially for the month of April. And today I was opportune to be one of the speakers in Mr. James' event today. We had a fundraiser event earlier today, which was really, really amazing. And being one of the guest speakers was just mind-blowing, raising funds just to make more positive impact, just to be able to, pay it forward, to influence more people it's powerful. And to be able to do that, because for me, we believe in collaboration, in completion instead of competition. So we complete one another, and to work with Mr. James to see that became a reality. It's something I'm grateful for. And lastly, I'm grateful for my cycle, the cycle of friends. On LinkedIn, we met persons as strangers, but today we are good friends, we are families, we reach out to one another within the week, check up on one another, we pray for each other, we support each other's business. It's priceless, having people in your cycle you can call at any hour of the day, and they will pick up, they will respond to you, they will be there for you. It's just priceless. And LinkedIn has made that community a possibility for us. Having people like Annie, Lydia, Jimmy, James, people in the comment section, and so many other persons in our life, it's so precious. And I'm really grateful for that, because the gift of men. At the end of the day, everything revolves around people. It's about you, it's about me, is about each and every one of us working together. And I'm glad that I have people I can call friends, I have people I can call family, I have people I can say, this is my person. And for me, that's so priceless. And I'm really, really, really grateful for that. So that's my gratitude today. And for anyone who wants to join us, we create this platform just to encourage persons to come in, because sometimes you can be so overwhelmed by the things happening around us, by the things that didn't work out well, but then forget about the things that are working out, forgetting about the blessings that we have in our life. So if you want to join up on stage and share with us the things you are grateful for, feel free. The link is already in the comment section. Be part of those who are making an impact, be part of those who are intentional about positivity and who are making real difference in the world. And join us. Let's share our gratitude together, because your story has the power to change somebody's life. Somebody's just waiting to hear your gratitude, to find hope, to find courage to keep living. So I'm going to pass the mic now to Mr. Eni, even as he shares with us his gratitude for the month of April.
Thank you. So more wonderful people have joined us. Rosemary, Positivity B, we see you. Maria, we'll see you as well. James, welcome all of you. Thank you for joining us. And Mr. Kiefer is recovering from surgery, so I'm grateful and feeling much better. Great to hear, my friend. Great to hear. Thank you so much for joining us. What am I grateful for? I'm always grateful. I'm grateful for everything in life. And if I had to pick three, okay, I think the first one I will say I'm really thankful for, and I'm thankful for this every day. You'd be surprised. It is those lovely people that keep me in business. Those ones you call customers. I love my customers, and I want more of them. So I do literally envision most of my clients. I want more of them, right? And I was like, I started off today saying how I'm managing to publish a book a day. That's because I've got amazing customers who are great writers, right? Without them, I wouldn't be where I am. So I'm thankful to all those customers who give me their time, their trust, and their money. Yeah, they give me that money too. So I take it. I'm just saying, right? My second real moment of gratitude concerns my friends Joan and Karen. Joan Williams and Karen Pascal. You might have seen them around. They do the enrichment of mind, body, and soul. If you haven't seen my posts, they sent me a package yesterday in the post that contains one of their books. Self-Care is Intentional, which I love, and sent one of their magazines as well. Start Healthy. So they sent me 2 magazines. I'm in one of them. I'm like, wow, I don't remember. I didn't remember that. I got some lovely pens as well. Look, I love people who send me goodies. I can't lie, right? Anyone's and I'm lucky. I go back to my customers' points that I just said, and my lovely customers. When you do what I do, when you work on people's books, people send you books. Amazing. Some will say, "Just read my book." You're like, why? Some send it to you as a signed copy, as a gift. So I'm always grateful when anyone sends me goodies in a post. Like I say, it does beat getting bills, because most of my letters are bills. And when I get them, I'm like, postman, go away. But when I get goodies, I'm always like, yay, this stuff. People do love me. So I thank you. I thank Joan. I thank Karen as well. I thank the amazing friends I get to work with. I think my third. There's so many things I could pick. Let me thank the people who grace us with their time. Because you are the ones that make our events happen. And we're always grateful for those who join us in the audience and those who join us in the studio, because your time is valuable. And the fact you give us any moment of your time is magical. It really, I'm sure that we could do. Many people do events with very almost no one in the audience. So all of you who give us however long of your time, whether it's a minute, whether it's longer, that you hear it for the whole show, I'm truly thankful to you, because you make our time worthwhile. Long may our friendships continue, right? I say that for sure. So thank you so much, everyone. That's me, Lydia. I'll give you the mic.
All right. Thank you, Eni. It's always interesting hearing a list of gratitude here in this room, because you find things that you connect to, and you find things that you're reminded of. And if you're me, and you can shout it out in the comments if you agree, the list keeps getting longer and longer. And if that's happening, then we're on the right track, right? I mean, there's so much to be grateful for. And the moment that, I mean, it takes some practice, but the moment that we start doing it, especially, well, this isn't to say don't feel your feelings, don't feel your loss when you need to feel your loss, or your pain when you need to feel your pain, but to also remember the gratitude, because the gratitude is the thing that's there while you have the loss, while you have the pain, while you have the sorrow, while you have the fear, and say, yes, I'm grateful for my body that has been supporting me my whole life. And I'm grateful for the people who are here and choosing to talk with me. I'm grateful for that the weather is good right now, or was good yesterday, or is good tomorrow, and is giving me the rain or the sun, or I live in a place that there's a lot of snow, and when the snow is there, it provides a lot of moisture too, and it provides where I live, it provides maple syrup. And if you have not had maple syrup, it's a beautiful product. It's really good for you. It's sweet and lovely, and it's adjusted to all the parts of your body chemically. It's great to have maple sap for recovery if you drink too much or you exercise too much. It is a really good recovery drink. And we get that because of the snow, because we need to have in the spring, when you all are having, flowers and things poking up, we have nights that are below freezing and days that are above freezing, and that produces the maple sap. And so that's probably something you may not have known, and I'm grateful for it. So I'm going to pass the mic back to Jamie. I see that we have Rosemary in the house, or we did anyway. I think she might have just fallen off. But Jamie, the mic is yours.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you all for sharing your, the things you're grateful for. Like I said, we all have, different things we're grateful for, and maybe things change every month. But ultimately, like I said, life is most important, and the fact that we're all here together and can come here every week, I think that's really something that we should all, ultimately be grateful for too, right? So I want to shout out a few people in here. I think Rosemary mentioned that it was nice seeing Zion at a fundraising event. So that's pretty cool. You saw each other. Indeed, impact over income. I like that. That's awesome. Susan said, I'm new here, and I'm grateful to be here and also let new things that can help me level up my life. I love that. Level up my life. That's pretty cool. I put that on a t-shirt. I like that. That's a pretty awesome saying. Glad you're here, Susan. Maria said, thank you so much. I know it was off topic. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Okay. I think we lost Lydia here too as well. So dropping people here. Something's going on here. Okay. Let's see. Yep, there she is. She is back. Awesome. So this, we're 45 minutes into our call. I want to welcome some people up on stage here. If you want to share your thoughts on what you're grateful for in the month of April, or it doesn't even have to be all about that. If you want to just share some thoughts on positivity, or maybe there's something going on in your life that, that you just want to talk about and get off your chest, and maybe you just want people to listen. I mean, it doesn't have to be always all about the gratitude experience. If you want to just come up on stage and introduce yourself and share some thoughts and, give some opinions on things, or maybe just share your mind, please come on up. And I want to bring up our first, our guest here, which is our bag of positivity here. Her name is Rosemary. If you want to go ahead and unmute your mic, please share what you're grateful for this month and give us your thoughts. Let's see. I can't hear you. Is it just me or can you guys hear her?
Not yet. No, we can see you, but we can't hear you, Rosemary.
Yeah, it might be kind of choppy there. Maybe it's kind of I don't know. Let's see. Can you Rosemary? Can you hear us? I feel like a radio host sometimes. Caller, you're on the air. First time caller. Can you hear us?
There may be a delay between the
Rosemary,
picture.
if you can put off your cam and just use your audio, I think that would be better for your internet.
Yeah, Rosemary, why don't you leave it in the comments if you want to say something? I can shout you out there, or we can try again later and see if you can if you hear us, or you can say something, speak, and we'll see if we can hear you. But back to the comments really quick. Maria said being grateful, or Jay says, I'm grateful for this event. Well, we are grateful for you being here as well, Jay. Thanks for being here. And Maria says that being grateful isn't always easy, especially when life feels heavy or uncertain. Very true. But it's in those moments that gratitude can ground us the most. Even the smallest blessings, when noticed, can remind us that hope still exists. I agree. Smallest blessings can go the longest way, right? And thank you for sharing that comment. I love it. You're right. When life feels heavy or uncertain, we got to think about the things, just still think about the things that we do have and live in the moment, and just realize that, I don't like to get too religious, but realize that God has a plan for us, right? And things will get better, and life goes through ups and downs, right? Yes. Okay. So anybody else that wants to come up on stage, please come on up. Normally we do have a few people up by now, so I would love to see some people come up, either that or you're going to just hear me talk for the next 45 minutes. And I don't think we want that. I mean, I didn't prepare any stand-up jokes today or comedy hour or anything like that. So please come on up and share some positivity. We're heading into May, right? So, got April showers, May flowers coming, then June and July. And it just seems like this year is just flying by, right? It really is. I mean, I feel like it was just New Year's. Right, but here we are, almost into May. So
it's hard to believe your daughter is 5 already. It feels like we've been there the last 5 years. It really does. I remember when you were babysitting. So
little do I know I'm babysitting till she's 18, right? But
if it ends there, you've done well.
And then she's babysitting you.
Hey, there we go. One day if I'm in diapers or something like that, right? There we go. She better take care of me, right? But it's crazy. I feel like everybody's been on this journey with me since I was first, we were doing our singing in the car when she was like 2 years old and things like that. And just crazy to think how fast time has flown. And she was born, I want to say, 28 weeks or 27? She was born pretty early, right? So there was a time we were super worried about like how's her development going to be, and how's it going to go in the NICU, and visiting her every day, and went through a lot of tears and a lot of crying and things like that. But here she is today, and just thriving, and we're blessed for her to be where she's at today. So Paulette says, I'm grateful of God's discernment, love, and protection, and all my true family and friends. I love that, Paulette. Always good to be thankful for true family and friends. I like how you said true, because a lot of times people will come in and out our lives, right? And what I've learned over time, it's not always about having the biggest group of friends, right? Or the biggest circles, right? Because a lot of times the biggest circles, sometimes you have people who are just acquaintances, and they're not your true people, right? And they're not your true tribe. And for me, I've learned that it's okay to have a smaller group, to have a smaller group of friends or people who are close to you. And like this group I have here in front of me, right? The 4 people here, like this is my small group that I have here, who I know that I can reach out to when I want. I know that they're going to be here every week. And, that's the things that are most important to me. So I love that you said that. And thanks for being here again, Paulette. We appreciate you. If you want to come up on stage, please don't hesitate to join the call. Maria says she'd love to come up, but it's been a day. Though I'm staying positive, it's been a day. I feel like I feel that message, right? Like I feel the exhaustion there. Sounds like it was a day for sure, right? But the thing is, even though it's been a day, hopefully we have tomorrow, and we can forget about what that day's been like, and we just continue to worry about, to continue to press on forward, right? That's why I tell people when I, when I'm coaching them, right, is, all those rejection emails you've gotten, and it's been a day when you've gotten a no, 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 put it behind you, move forward the next day, keep on applying. And then when you get that yes, you'll forget about the no's, right? Yeah. Well, we don't. Go ahead. What do you say?
The one thing I would say, maybe is we ought to live in the moment. As I say, the past is gone, it's history. Tomorrow is not promised, right? So let's embrace the moment that we have now. And I say that in the context of gratitude as well. Now, gratitude is, for me, it's probably one of the most powerful positivity and even mindfulness practices, because it's not just being grateful. Far from it. I don't know. For me, it's a spiritual thing where, by us saying what we're grateful for, we tell our God to give us more of it. That's when every day with gratitude. I think I'm sure we all do. As I say, when I say that, I think of my customers when I meditate. I do, because I want more of them. And part of that, and I was saying to my world and to the universe, I'm grateful for what you've given me. I want more of this, please. I'm saying in a complicated way, we need to learn to express gratitude intentionally and truly do it with enthusiasm, because that's how we're going to get more of the good stuff in life that we want. That's why I do it, pretty much, right? Mr. D, please feel free.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eni, for saying that, because it's actually beyond the word gratitude. And I love the fact that we are doing this today as our gratitude experience. There's one thing I've learned about being a grateful person. It's you're not grateful because everything is perfect, but you're grateful because you're making progress. Every day that comes is an opportunity for us to grow, it's an opportunity for us to get better. It's an opportunity for us to become a better version of who we used to be yesterday. And yes, there might still be issues in our life. There might still be things not working well in our life. There might still be things you want to do, but you're not able to do them. But then there's still so much we have to be grateful for. There's still so much. Now, I always say this. It takes someone who is alive to have a goal. It takes someone who is alive to even dream. It takes someone who is alive to think about business plan, think about talking to your client and doing all these things. So, but then we put so much attention on the things that we are supposed to get, we're supposed to have, on the things we are supposed to own in our possession, and forget the things that truly matters. That being alive is golden, being alive is precious, being alive is something we shouldn't take for granted. Many persons slept last night, but not everybody woke up today. Many persons saw this morning, but at the end of the day, not everybody is seeing these very minutes that we have right now. But here we are, despite all we have been through, despite all we are going through right now, we are still here. We are still counted among the living. We can still breathe in free of charge. Within the week, I had the opportunity to visit the hospital with my mom. And when she got there, she was like, wow, I think every day I have to be grateful to God. We went to the emergency ward and you see persons lying down. It got to a point where, the bed space wasn't even enough to contain persons who were being rushed into the hospital. And here we go in and out. We sound and healthy. We can eat our meal by ourselves. We can do a lot of things, go to nature, spend time with family and friends. And I tell you, these are precious things in our life. These are things that we have to be grateful for. For somebody right now, you might be thinking, oh, I don't have a job. I'm a job seeker. I'm looking for a job. But then you have a home to live in. You have food on your table. You have clothes to wear. You have shoes on your feet. You can wake up. You can even access the internet. You have all these things to use. So there's so much to be grateful for. And I just want to encourage somebody out there. Probably you are working towards something. You are praying for something and it's not coming the way you want it to be. Remain grateful. Like Mr. Eni said earlier, The more you are grateful, the more you attract the blessings that you want to see. Gratitude is like a magnet. It allows you to attract the future you want to see. You might not be where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be. You can only recognize that with the eyes of gratitude. So we encourage everyone, continue to be grateful, because it's very important in our everyday life. Yes, it's easy to be overwhelmed. It's easy to be carried away. It's easy to be swayed by the things happening around us. But I tell you, in the midst of the things happening around you, you can still be grateful. What you are going through right now, somebody else is going through far much worse things. And just thinking about that can just put you in a place where I have to be grateful because somebody is going far much worse than I'm going through. So I encourage us, let's remain grateful. And yes, if you want to come up on stage and share with us the things you are grateful for, feel free. Because today is all about gratitude, because gratitude is one of those foundational pillars that can help you to stay and remain positive. It allows you to see the blessings you have. It allows you to see the goodies that you have in your life. In the midst of the challenges, I'm blessed. In the midst of the things going on, I'm favored. In the midst of the things going on, I can do all things. So embracing gratitude for me, it's not optional. It's a priority. It's a must that we must do even in this time and now, in the midst of the things that we are going through. So I just wanted to share that, even as we wait for more persons to join us. So I can just pass the mic back, probably Lydia has something to say, or Jimmy.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Zion, for sharing that. And, we've gotten some more comments in here. Maria said that folks put so much emphasis on shit that won't matter in 3 months instead of focusing on being a better human being. I agree. Sometimes we worry about we put a lot of focus into the wrong things, right? Instead of just focusing on being a better person, right? So I definitely agree with that. We got Cindy Cohn in the house. She says, hi, Lydia. Cindy is dubbed as the Queen of Joy. I know that we've been connected for a while. So if there's anyone who knows about positivity, it's Cindy. So Cindy, if you want to come up here and give some words of positivity or share what you're grateful for, we'd love to bring you up on stage here. I don't think we've had you up on stage before. It'd be cool to hear from you on here. Let's see. Lydia did say that Maria is so true. We are still in survival mode, but most of it is in our head and not real. Will we remember our fussing at the end of life? I'm grateful to notice what's important now, right? And I agree with that. Yes, things are hard, but we still have so much to be grateful for, right? And I think about what, Annie was saying earlier about, just living in the moment, right? And stuff like that. I've realized in today's day and age, like everything's so digital, right? Like a lot of times we go places, we go to concerts, we go to things, and we all have our phones out the whole time. A lot of times, right? Or we have the phones in front of our face when the thing that we're looking at is right in front of us. Now, I understand obviously taking pictures because it preserves memories, right? I take a ton of pictures, right? I always do, because memories are things I like to look back on. I've got so many pictures of my daughter and everything, right? But I feel like sometimes it's okay to stop and smell the roses, keep your phone away for a little bit, live for the moment, take in what is around you, and live for that, right? So I like that Annie brought that up. I thought that was really cool. And what was I thinking? I think Zion mentioned something, but I was thinking about this too. Like we're talking about, just every day being a new day and whatnot, and not worrying about things, with job seekers and whatnot, and looking for jobs. And this is what I tell people all the time too, is like job titles and things like that. Like job titles don't even matter. Like in the end scheme of things, you can call me janitor, you can call me this, you can call me whatever you want in a job title, right? It's not going to be a difference in terms of how I live my life and what I do, right? I don't care if you're a director or president or this or that or whatever. I don't even care if you're a customer service person or something. Like we're all the same. We all have lives. We're all living every day. We're breathing. And that's the bottom line. And, my most important job title right now in life is dad, right? And that's what I care about most. So, just wanted to share that, right? But Susan says she's really grateful to see herself here. She said that's been her number one prayer request. I want to be among good, positive, and like-minded people. So I'm happy and grateful to be here again. Well said. I love that. If you want to be around good, positive, and like-minded people, and that's what this group is about, right? You don't have to worry about that in here. It's a safe space. We all talk about the same stuff, and we all come together every week. to share this. So thank you, Susan, once again for that, for your thoughts and for your comments. We had Arlene and Susan are in the house. Lydia, welcome them. Rosemary had a really good comment here saying she's grateful to God for using me as an avenue to bless people. I recently embarked on a project to raise funds and visit the orphanage, which was a success. Thank God for my amazing friends who showed up and supported me in one or the other. God bless you all. I believe that you mustn't have it all to bless others. Start from the little you can do. Well, that's strong right there. I love that. I mean, right. It's like God picked you out, right, to bless people. And look at, you went to the orphanage, you raised funds. It was a success. It doesn't matter how much you raised, right? You raised money, you showed up, you showed out. And, you're right. It's not always about having it all to be able to bless people. And sometimes I do wish the people who do have more than what we do. Like, I wish the people who had all the money in the world, like the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos from Amazon and all these guys, right? I do wish they would take just a little bit of that money and do good with it, right? I feel like they could do more than probably what's happening, right? But that's nor here nor there. We do what we can to bless others, no matter how much we have. And if I see people on LinkedIn who are struggling and they have a GoFundMe out there and they need to pay their rent next month or whatnot, if I can and I see it and I can donate a little bit where it's not going to affect, my family, obviously, and I'll still be okay, I'm more than willing to do that, right? Because I know that good karma comes full circle. And when we do good things for others, then when we need things and we need things most, we know that it's going to come back around. So that's how I truly feel. That's how I live my life, right? So
it works.
What do you say?
I say it works. I mean, and I know you want to go to Maria's, and let's plan an event in Netherlands, people. We are everywhere. We're global, right? So when you're ready, Maria, let's plan a date and time if it's different to Friday, and we can organize a topic that you want to address specifically. I think when Zion was talking about job seekers might be here, they might be thinking life is hard. Again, part of the reality is appreciating there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why we're here. If someone's looking for a job, for example, I might say be grateful you're in the right place. Be grateful you can talk to Jamie. You can hear from him now. You could be anywhere else where you're here. There must be a reason why we're here, right? There must be. I say it's only when we look back that we realize the connections and the link between events. It takes some time to think. Think back to even our childhoods, where we thought, "Oh, this is terrible. I didn't get what I wanted." Now, when I look back now, I think that was the right thing at the right time, right? I just didn't know it. I think that's it's a realization of how the world works. Again, back to the point about gratitude. It is calling on the spiritual powers to bless us, and they bless us in many, many ways. It's not by throwing money at us necessarily. Sometimes the people will get to meet, the spaces will get to be in at that time, right? People will get to talk to, friends will get to make. That action you take, that call, that DM you send. Why there? Why then? Why now? There's more to it than just. I suppose that we think we live this life, Jamie, to work hard, and that's how things work. But I think most of the good things that happen to us, my friends, is beyond our powers. It's appreciating that we're spiritual beings and things happen to us at the right time, in the right place. If you're here now and you struggle to find peace, be grateful that Lydia's here, really, and so connect with her and take advantage of what Lydia can do for you. If it's job search, Jamie's here. If it's positivity, and so we're all here, but Zion is a king of positivity. I'm saying there's a reason why you're here. We can learn to make those connections today rather than when we're locked up. Rather than being an hour from now, you're like, oh, I wish I had connected with Jamie. No, Do it now, right? It's much in that. It's easier for you and easier for everyone, and for you to get what you want in life. If we trust the gods that we have, then things get better. I've got two Zion. Yeah, I've got two Zions. Yay! I don't know which one's Zion. They're both Zion, right?
Yes. And Paulette just said she's having a special event on May 3rd at 11 a.m., a personal launch party. If you wish to be invited, let her know. It'll be 45 minutes to an hour, and it will show you guys exactly what she does to help people achieve their dreams. She's grateful for the opportunity. I love that. So you're hosting your own event. That's great. I mean, I love to see people getting out there and sharing things that they're good at. And obviously that's you, is talking to people about what you're doing, to help them. And I think that's important. I mean, I feel like it's all a mission in what we do, right? We all have things that we do to help others, right? I help people get opportunities and get jobs and gain traction on our job search, right? Lydia helps people get into that calming state of mind and maybe develop their purpose and get a grasp of things going on. And she does that through different techniques and different strategies that she does and whatnot, right? Sure, Lydia, you can share a lot more. I know there's a lot more than that. I'm just kind of just saying it like that. But Lydia does a lot of stuff when it comes to that, mind and presence and whatnot. And Annie helps people with publishing books and writing books, right? And helping them with all aspects of that stuff and making them famous, right? And Zion helps everybody with obviously sharing that positivity and being a positive force in so many people's mind, in people's lives, and being a part of that mindset and getting them to think things a certain way and just bringing that big ball of energy, right? We all have ways that we help people and that we bring that positivity. And, we've been doing this now we've been doing this for a long time now. I want to say, how long has it been since we've been doing this? Do you guys know? 3 years? Huh?
Absolutely. 3 years?
About 3 years. Hey,
Yeah.
I want to point out that there's that Zion his laptop did die and he sent us a note. So we want to make sure we have the right Zion on the screen.
I
You
like
see
that.
two, but the rest of us see one. All
That's
right. So
fine.
that's in the private.
There's only one Zion I know. That's the King Zion. I don't know.
There's only one Zion on LinkedIn. Full
Well,
stop, right?
I forget there's a Zion who plays.
Guru.
Yeah, there's a Zion who plays in the NBA, but this Zion's the more important one, right? Okay, so we got this Zion on stage here, but like I said, we still got 25 minutes on this call, guys. It's weird to see nobody come up on stage and share their thoughts, especially when this is the easiest one to talk about, right? It's the easiest one to come up on stage and I know everybody's got to have some sort of things they're grateful for, right? I mean, some sort of maybe positivity or things that maybe you're looking forward to down the line that you might be grateful for when they happen or whatnot. Or like I said, if you want to share a story that recently happened to you, or you just want to vent about something and have all of us listen to you and have the people in the comments be able to share thoughts and whatnot, like this is a safe space, come on in here and share your thoughts. There's no judging anybody on anything. I mean, as much as it's fun and we would love to talk to you guys the entire time and share things, that doesn't happen without you guys, right? So we want to go ahead and hear your guys' thoughts. Let's see here, Paulette. You're leaving a lot of comments here, Paulette. I would love to see you share your thoughts here.
We'll make it there. Let's find Paulette.
I've dropped the link into the comments for those people on LinkedIn, and I would love to hop in here for a minute, if I may, and reflect on some of the things that Jamie said, like quite a while ago. But there's so much that each of us has that we don't see when we're focused on whatever it is that we're focused on, but yet all of that good stuff, all of the stuff to be grateful for, is right around us. Gratitude, just to put it in perspective, is just what you appreciate. That's where it starts. What do you appreciate? What do you having a glass of water when you're really thirsty, and just coming to that space is our place to come into our gratitude. Because if we weren't alive, we wouldn't be able to feel that gorgeous trickle of cold water going down our throat when it feels so good. When sometimes water, it's just water, meh. But when you need it, it's so good, right? It's so good. And these are things like you can be grateful for all the things, for your bed, but really think about what that means. What do you appreciate about it? What brings you joy? What gets you out of your comfort zone? What gets you out of your grumpy zone? My dog will come along and she's very calm until she's not, and then she'll just pop up and start poking me, and she'll just start being hammy and really makes me laugh. And I'm grateful for that, because that's going to be the stuff at the end of life that I will remember more than what I was grumpy about. I'm not going to remember what I was grumpy about, but I will remember the way that dog made me feel, that my child made me feel, that my friend made me feel. How do you feel?
Yeah, I love that. How do you feel? And I love how you said that. Like when we're at the end of our life, and that's obviously one thing we're all going to have in common one day, right? And I want to get morbid, right? But you think about this, like, are you going to be there on your last breath and think about, I can't believe I missed this deadline at work, or I wish I would have done, I wish I could have done this that one day or whatever, right? Like, no, you're not going to think about those things. What really matters is, did you leave that positive impression on people? Did you leave a life that was fulfilling? Did you leave a life with no regrets, right? And stuff like that. I mean, that's the most important thing.
What would you want on your gravestone? You wouldn't want, one thing I want to avoid is having it say she worked hard. No, like,
no, it doesn't matter about that, right? Because in the end scheme of things, to be honest with you, it's like, when something happens to you, the company you work for is going to put your job up the next day on their website, and they're going to hire somebody to replace you right away. So like, you have to enjoy that life. You got to live that life of positivity and fulfillment. My grandpa is a good, a good example of that, right? I mean, he lived till his 90s, and he worked his whole life, and we'll bring up our first speaker in a second, but he lived a positive life, and he ran his photography business all the way until his last days, but he loved life. He's my idol and the person I looked up to, because I didn't have a father growing up, right? My grandpa was the one that was my father figure. And he always just had this positive attitude and always wanted to do more and more for people around him and put others first, and was just a humble man, right? And a servant leader. And I feel like that's something I try to model myself in terms of what I do and how I live my life every day, right? And that's just like I said, as long as you can wake up every morning and you can live a life of fulfillment and better people's lives every day and do one thing a day that towards somebody else that makes them happy. It could be opening the door for somebody, anything, a nice comment for somebody. Like, it goes a long way, and you never know how that what you've done could have made a long lasting impact in somebody's lives. So I'll just leave it at that. And, we'll bring up our first speaker here. I love it. We got Paulette up here. I know I itched her to come up here, and I love that she is here now. So let's go ahead and you are our first speaker. If you want to go ahead and let us know your thoughts on today's topic and share gratitude.
Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly.
Loud and clear.
Well, I want to say why I'm so thankful. I am so thankful to have the opportunity to help people achieve their dreams and goals. And I've delivered, I'm in investments and insurance and all that. But when you help your family, that's another story. I probably delivered about 4 or 5 death claims, but there's 2 that I remember the most. One being my brother, my favorite brother. He was a young old soul, very mature for his age, and we always helped each other out. And he passed away. He had someone ran in the back of him, and he had neck damage, and he had surgery on his neck. And from complication of that, he passed away. But he told me, he said, sis, I don't know what you're doing. It don't matter what you're doing. Just sign the paperwork and I sign whatever you write up. And at that time I was brand new. So I just did 100K. I could have done a 500K. I could have done $1 million policy. But I did the 100K. But let me tell you what that 100K did for his family. So as we were growing up, he would like to get new cars. We were building homes and doing all that. I had very good credit. I was supporting him. We were both doing very well in the family. And he's a good man. He got married, had a very lovely wife. And when he passed away with that $100,000 in some more insurance, his family is still in that home today. He built a dream home for his wife and his children and grandchildren now. And when I delivered that check to her, and she looked up at me when I handed her the check. She said, "What's this envelope?" I go, "That's a check for you." She said, I said, "My brother paid $28 a month for you to have some protection." And she looked at me and she said, "Paulette, I don't know why I fought you so hard with this measly $28. You're the only one coming to me and handing me a check, and everybody else is sending me a bill." She was able to stay at home and mourn for the loss of my brother because he really spoiled her. I mean, I have 6 brothers, but he really spoiled his wife. And I was like the number one supporter of him and his wife. My other brothers was very jealous of him and his wife, but that's the one story. So they're still in the house today, and I am their hero for delivering that check, which allowed them to keep that home and their family. The next story is a lady. I got a phone call from my supervisor that said, "I really can't go to LA, like in a really tough area." She said, "But you can go in that area. Can you go down there and write this policy for me?" So I drove down there, and it really was pretty bad area. Some people were saying they were collecting insurance money, and they were doing so many things. They were getting high. They were doing so many things. They said, "Well, don't everybody smoke weed?" I said, "No, I do not smoke weed." So that's the area I was involved in. And so this old lady, she was writing insurance policies that she found on the television. So she's just writing all these insurance policies. She had like 5 policies that would probably never really pay. And one of them was, my friend said, you have to be hit on a school bus, and she wasn't even on a school bus. She was elderly. So I took all those policies, combined them into one policy. And when she passed away, because I've been in the business almost 14 years, her son was so thankful that he came back and gave a testimony to our company, because I represent Fortune 500 companies, 200 different companies, A-rated on Fortune 500. He came back and gave a personal testimony because the company not only paid for her funeral, but planned everything for her. He didn't have to do anything, and they gave him the money that was left over, and they couldn't upcharge him or anything because she was really taken care of. So that's why I love what I do, because we get to help the poor, we get to help the wealthy, and we help the people that's been looked over. And when I had my custom home and doing very well in Vegas, I had companies reaching out to me because I was making so much money. But who's reaching out to someone who may not have all that? We all need help. And when I first walked in this company and I saw No Family Left Behind, I thought, who would help my family? And that's what won me into this. This is why I'm so grateful. Some people get mad at me. They say, "Paulette, do you realize what's at your hands? You can be making millions of dollars." But that doesn't motivate me. What motivates me is helping the people that's been forgotten, the people that need some help. And one lady that I helped, her husband died working for the railroad, and they told her that he never worked there. So I told my supervisor about it. She said, "Okay, we're going to represent her." She said, I want you to write the letter, have her sign it, and we're going to find out why they're not paying her the money. Well, I wrote the letter, she signed it, we sent it in. And then I called the railroad back and said, why did you say he didn't work there? She said, because we didn't look in the right, it was in a microfilm. They didn't have no record of him. So that lady has been retired for the last 14 years because of what we did. That was not our job to do that. It had nothing to do with insurance. She wasn't well educated. She didn't know what to do. And so I love what I do because I change lives every single day. That's it.
I love that, Paulette. Thanks so much for your, I can, you know, you hear the authenticity in your voice and just the passion behind what you do. And, you know, I love the different stories you shared about helping people. And, you know, you, like I said, you just hear it, you know, you can hear when people really love what they do and how they feel like they're really making an impact in people's lives. And, you know, you've been coming here in our call for quite some time, and, you know, appreciate you coming up on stage and really sharing your thoughts and really bringing our attention to the things you're doing and the things that you're making an impact, and obviously doesn't go unnoticed. And I know those things come full circle. So thank you again for being here and being up on stage. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for allowing me to share, because sometimes I don't like to say anything. That's part of my personality. I really have special gifts. I really can fire up the whole room, but I just like to stay low key. And I like to push all my uplines up to the front. Go on up there. See, I've had my accolades before in my other careers, you know. I don't have to have all that. Just let me be me. But when someone told me, you have such great sense of love and passion and realness about you, till more people need to hear what you do. People will believe you, not because of millions, but I'm working on that. I like to stay in the background.
Hey,
You know,
yeah, go ahead, Annie.
I think, you know, you are the perfect example of why we do this room. You know, really, you know, it's so hard to explain. Mindset coaches are explaining much better than me. But I think there is a joy when you are grateful for what you have. And I think our gifts, our gifts are unique abilities. They're gifts from the gods, and we have to be grateful for them. You know, and I learned somewhere that it's one thing saying how you feel, saying what you want, saying what you've done. It's another thing when you truly feel the joy from doing so. And listening to you, Paulette, I can see that, I can hear the joy in you. I can see the joy in your face when you talk about the people you help. That is what life's all about. It's living that joy. You know, and so, you know, those who get to live that joy, you know, it's almost priceless. So there are many comments saying it right, you know, saying something similar. Great stories, Paulette. You're doing a fantastic job helping families. God is pleased with you, and I will always be blessed. I will always bless you for your gifts of kindness. That's so true, Kiefer. Thank you so much. Cheers. I say something very similar. So cheers. I say thank you, Paulette, for your compassionate heart to serve and genuinely help people. Now, that all comes from you expressing your gratitude for the skills that you do have, the opportunities that you do get to help people. And I'm quite sure, you know, you'll be blessed with more of those opportunities. That's why we do what we do, right? Now, Lydia, you can say it yourself. You're here. I'm not going to say it for you.
Exactly. Yes. No, great stuff. Thanks, Annie, for sharing that. And yeah, Lydia talked about a comment here, you know, that you know, said you used to do insurance and helping the poor. I don't think I knew that about you, but you know, said that wasn't what we were supposed to do, but I did it. At the end of life, being seen, whether we worked hard and made a lot of money, or we poured our heart and soul into our family and struggled, right? So, yeah, I love that. Like I said, Lydia, you're always somebody who gives back, and you know, I didn't know you used to do insurance actually, so I just learned something new about you, right? So, very cool. I mean, I love that Paulette came up on stage and shared her thoughts. You know, kicked us off. You know, we've got about 8 minutes or so here before we wrap up the call here. So, if anybody wants to come up on stage and you know, now that Paulette's breaking the ice here, you hopefully we can hear from maybe one or two more people before we wrap things up. But
I put the link right in the comments. So yeah, we can take like one or two more people. We're wrapping up, but we'd love to have you on.
And Lisa, Lisa,
let's welcome Lisa. Yeah, welcome Lisa. Jamie's welcome you as well. Dr. Lisa, I call her, by menopause dietitian, menopause expert. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Lisa's a busy lady, so I appreciate your time that you do spend with us. Maybe we should do one more thing that we're each grateful for. How's that?
Okay.
I mean, just one. I mean, how are we going to choose just one, right?
Did we lose Zion?
Yeah, we seem to have lost Zion.
Go ahead, Lydia. What one other thing are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the opportunities that come when I surrender to them, when I call out my gratitude, when I give up thinking that I need to know why or how, and just trust the opportunities that open up. It's really, really beautiful, and I'm really grateful for that. How about you?
Well, that's good point. I'm grateful for, I know I said family, but I'm going to kind of go a little bit more, and I'm going to say I'm grateful for my mom and her health, because she's gone through some things in the past where she's had some kidney issues and some things like that, and had to go through like some different dialysis and things like that and whatnot. And she's been doing a lot better now with her health and her levels and things like that, right? Her kidney levels and stuff like that. And she's been really taking care of herself in terms of like her working out and just watching herself and things like that. And her health's been getting better. And, I'm very grateful for that, like I said, right? Because my mom is who I grew up with my whole life, right? I mean, because my mom was the one who raised us. I mean, that's where I learned everything from. And just to have her doing better that's all I can ask for. So I'm definitely grateful for that, and I'm blessed. So, Annie, how about you?
Health is obviously an important one. I think health is something that we always have to be grateful for. Unless it goes wrong, and then we have to be even more grateful to get back to good health. Strange thing, right? But I think I'm with Lydia. Opportunities that we get, it's a remarkable thing. I mentioned it in passing earlier. The people we meet, you never know. No, things don't happen by accident, right? Nothing happens by accident. There's a plan somewhere. Maybe it's not our plan, but it's God's plan. Whatever whoever your God is. I'm not one to do this to one God. I'm saying literally the higher powers give us opportunities. You get to meet people at the right time, right place, right space, just when you need them. I think making that realization, it's amazing. That's what I can think. It feels like magic. It feels like luck sometimes, but it's neither of those two things. It's almost like our destiny. But I think we have to be attuned into the moment to realize what's in front of us. Because many of those opportunities, Lydia, they've been there forever. Right. Many of those people who are there to help us, they've been there forever. It happens the same way so many times. There is that person who says, "Oh, I need a job. I'm so desperate for a job," and so they suddenly meet Jamie, and they're like, "How did that happen?" I think we have to realize these things are not luck. These things are, the universe trying to help us to be happier and to be better people. Someone wants to write a book and they suddenly meets Annie. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why you and I are talking. We are meant to work together to achieve your goals. So I'm saying that's just how the world works, and I think that's a remarkable realization. It almost makes me feel humble. It's because you realize, like I was saying earlier, it's not our hard work always that gets us there. I talk about the fly that sees the window and says, "I must get out, I must get out, I must get out." And eventually the fly exhausts itself and dies. If only the fly had looked left and seen that the door is open, that fly would have got out ages ago, right? Same
And
with us.
we learned from the screw ups too. Like it's all good it's all good to notice, because we can be grateful for, that thing that we might not notice that other way out or that other opportunity, but then all of a sudden we do notice. And unlike the fly who died in the process, we actually have a chance to do something better, and that's amazing.
Yeah. It's something to be thankful for sure. Because the more thankful we are for the good things, the more we get those good things to be thankful for. So someone said it very well in one of my rooms earlier. People enjoy what they read, but they read what they enjoy. It's like, oh, profound.
Yeah,
it's obvious,
simple, and it's exactly like why do something you don't enjoy?
Yes, no, for
If
sure.
something comes along and you have to respond and you don't enjoy responding, but it's just what it is, you're probably responding because you care about that thing, and that's something to enjoy. And then move on to what you enjoy.
Yeah.
You'll read what you want to read.
Truly. Look, I'm always grateful to our Facebook friends who do join us. They're normally Zion's friends. So my Facebook community don't tend to respond that well. My LinkedIn friends respond better. But our Facebook friends will see you. It's Bright, I see you. It's Brianna. So I'm glad you're all here. Oh, Joan as well. I'm blessing. Thank you all for joining us. We do appreciate you, even though you're not on LinkedIn with us. That's fine. And Jamie Paulette says, I would say, I hope, I'm glad your mother is doing better, and rightly so. You're on mute, Jamie. I think. Have you muted yourself? You've muted yourself, Jamie.
There we go. Sorry, now you can hear me. So now I fooled. Yeah, I never do that very often. So yeah, Paulette, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. You also shared some things you take to help the kidneys as well. So I'll have to look into that. That's I appreciate you sharing that, and that kind of has brought us to to the end of the conversation here. And it's been a great conversation here. I know Chiedza just sent a message here as well, talking about I've been the fly at various times in my life, stubbornly holding on to what it is until I was ready to open my eyes to see the windows and doors that were always waiting on me. I love that. Sometimes we're just a fly in the wall, but then obviously, we got to take charge in things, right? And we got to take advantage of those open doors and stuff like that, right? So I appreciate your comment there. And then Kefa says, never mind how bad our situation is. There's someone who is doing worse. We must always be grateful. There is. It's true. I mean, you might think you have it bad, but there's always somebody that's got it worse out there. And but not always look at it that way, but it's true. Everyone's got their own things they're going on, right? That they're going through. So thanks for that share. So that's that's another good experience gratitude call for April. And next week we will be back with our first chat of May. Will be May 2nd, and we'll have another good topic to talk about here. And there's the infamous LinkedIn user, the one we don't know who it is, but says thank you for a lovely session. I like that link that profile picture and everything.
That is Arlene.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you, Arlene. Good to see you here.
Thank you, Arlene. Thank you so much. Susan says, how can I be part of the family here? My friends, connect with us. That's now in the comments. You find all our names. I'm sure on the event page we're there as well. Otherwise, if you know one of us, then we can happily connect you with the rest of us, right?
Yeah, you're part of the family. Everyone who's in here is part of the family. I mean, the only difference is we host the call every week, right? We bring this positivity call, but really, I mean, this is one big family, right? And that's why we try to bring people up on stage here, because unlike other calls sometimes like these, it's like the hosts are doing all the talking, and that doesn't really do anything. If we can't hear from anybody else, that doesn't help spread the word anymore, right? And people would get bored just hearing us talk every single week the entire time. So I'm hoping next week we'll get some more people up on stage, and I'm glad that Paulette was able to break that ice today and share her thoughts here. And yes, connect and show up. I love that. That's what Paulette said, and Lydia said you already belong. I agree. You do already belong. Definitely, we all belong. Come connect with us, follow us. Make sure you send connection requests to the people you see in here. Like, it all goes a long way, and that's how we make the family stronger, right? So, that's pretty much all my thoughts. If you guys want to share any of last thoughts before we wrap up the call here, any last thoughts, Lydia, or any?
For me, just that. Thank you, everyone who spent their time with us tonight. Thank you, everyone. It's night in England, by the way. Thank you, everyone. That's Paulette as well, especially for coming on stage. We're grateful to you. Arlene, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. So join us again next Friday. We're here every week, and as Jamie says, with a different topic. And we're going to guarantee you a more lively event. So do join us, my friends.
That's right. And all those different topics too. They all are focused on one feeling, right? One method and one way we connect, and that's through positivity. I'm really grateful for everybody who showed up. Everybody, I'm really grateful that Rosemary tried to come up on stage. Rosemary was actually right here and just had to comment in the comments. And however you show up is right where you're supposed to be. So I'm really, really glad that you're all here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Lydia, and Mrs. Z as well. Connect with Design if you want help to apply positivity principles. Do definitely connect with him. He's the expert at that. We'll do what we do for Science, Mr. Positivity, for a reason. So if you want to apply positivity in your work, in your life, then connect with him. If you struggle, and let any of us know, we'll happily connect you with him as well. My friends, let's call it a day. Let's get nice. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And then let's do it again next Friday. Say bye, everyone.
Sounds good. Well said, guys. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you soon. And till next week, all right?
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.